to another edition of Rent Money. We got Texas Pete here, Old Chisholm, joining yours truly, Run It Back Jones. We're going to have a fun, maybe a little weird episode for you all today. But on the cold opening, we have to address something that's near and dear to our hearts and maybe even heavy hearts. And so I guess I'll just start here. We want to take a moment to speak honestly and from the heart. Recently, our decision to sponsor Disney through Chad Powers and Hulu related endeavors has caused concern among many of you who care deeply about the values we represent. We've listened to your messages, your frustration, and your disappointment, and we understand why this partnership didn't sit right. When we chose to align with Disney, we did so thinking of its global reach, storytelling legacy, like in the show Chad Powers, one that used to be near and dear to our heart, and the cultural impact. But we didn't fully account for how complex that legacy would become, how the company's decisions, labor practices, and creative directions have raised real and valid concerns about responsibility, representation, integrity in the entertainment industry. We're talking about Saturdays in college football, specifically being at a place where it's able to be viewed by all, if it's an antenna channel, you shouldn't be able to take that away from us. If it's once been free, it should remain free and for the people. It's the people's weed. Sponsorship isn't neutral. It's a statement about what we believe in, who we stand beside, and what kind of world we want to help build. In this case, we fell short of living up to our own principles, and that's on us. We're taking this moment not to distance ourselves from the conversation, one I'm sure we'll embrace later on today's episode, but to learn from it. We are currently re-examining every partnership through a clear lens, one grounded in transparency, ethics, and genuine alignment with our values, which is typically football for all. To those who expected better, you're right to have done so, and we're sorry for letting you down, and we're committed to doing better, not just in words, but in choices that reflect real accountability. Thank you for holding Rent Money and the Pop Off podcast to a higher standard, a standard that we are committed to exceeding going forward. So appreciate everyone who stood by us during these dark times, ones that we do not take lightly. And with that in mind, we've decided today is going to be a sponsorship-free episode, but that doesn't mean we're not without a cause. And Chisholm's going to tell you about that cause. It's one that's also near and dear to our hearts. It is November. You may remember it from previous years, but go ahead, Chisholm, and let them know.
Yeah, just to give everybody the heads up, obviously this is nothing new for the Rent Money faithful, but I am coming into the year with my mustache already grown out, if you will. Good to see you, TP. The reason being people have grown accustomed to old Chisholm growing it out, and so I figured we better put one up, go for the money, get one for the Gipper, if you will. But quick ad read here from our friends over at Movember, as more so a sign of sponsorship and partnership. Fellas, want to take a quick pause before we dive into the full episode. It is Movember, as Run It Back Jones said, which means that it is that magical time of year where dudes everywhere are going to grow mustaches, question their life choices halfway through November, and hopefully remember why we're actually doing it. It isn't just about facial hair. It's about men's health. Mental health, testicular cancer, prostate cancer, real stuff that takes many of us way too soon. And if you're lucky enough to be healthy right now, that's great. But odds are that someone close to you isn't. And so here's the play. We're going to grow the mustaches. Donate, please, if you can. I will have links and whatnot in our bio on the Instagram. I know that's where the majority of you are finding us. Obviously on our Twitter page if you're live here, and our TikTok. Outside of that, check in on your boys, check in on the fellas. Don't hit them just with, hey, what's up? How you been? Or just send them like some random posts. Like, actually check in on them, give them a phone call to see how they're doing, because you never actually know. And little do you know, mustaches aren't the thing that save lives here. The conversations do. So go to Movember.com and get involved, grow it, show it, own it, and back to the pod.
Grow it and show it. Something I can relate to. All right. Woo! Hello and welcome back. I don't know about you guys. Feeling a little dirty about some of our recent sponsorship choices. Got the apology out there. One that, we're serious about and don't take lightly. But, as college football viewers, tell me how you were impacted as a consumer this weekend. Did it rub you the wrong way? Were your giblets chipped?
Well, yes, it fucking did. When you are multi-trillion-dollar companies in a big dicking contest over market share of fucking streaming services. Do that shit fucking March to early August. You don't do it during football season. You don't do it during conference play. The fact that they weren't able to come to, and that being YouTube TV and ESPN, ABC, Disney, Google, all of these guys are grouped together in this. The fact that you made us miss football on our streaming platform is just fucking sacrilegious. We stand with the football watcher first and foremost. And that is everybody on this podcast, and that is everybody who's listening to this podcast. So it is tragedy. It pissed me off, and the fact that we aren't even seeing updates towards a resolution, and this might bleed over into another week, is just borderline criminal.
During the sports equinox, come on,
dude. I could come unglued thinking about it. Like the amount of time and energy that go into this behind the scenes for the universities and for college football to make money off of us, and then to turn around and actually take that away. Like, you're going to go through all this NIL bullshit. You're going to make fans suffer not having the video game for however long. You're going to do all of these things. And then you're going to be like, yeah, well, sorry, YouTube TV people. Like, just enjoy
rocks,
not
pussies.
Yeah, kick rocks is what you told us, you know. And then they said, oh, we'll give you $20. You think that is gonna make me forget? I'll never forget. I'm locked in for NFL Sunday Ticket this year, but as soon as that's done, I'm getting rid of my television.
The whole thing.
Going back to radio. Going back to radio. We are going to jailbreak a radio so we get all the local stations so you can tune into Business Idea. Jailbroken radio to get all the feeds. Yes.
Write that down. Not an ad.
Not an ad.
Yeah. When mom and dad are fighting and neither of them wants to buy you a baseball glove and they just keep pointing at the other, and you're just sat at home, you have no glove, you're not able to go play catch with your friends. It's a sad feeling. You know, you're looking out the rain-soaked window pane, listening to Stand by Eminem and thinking about things that you shouldn't be thinking about. And that's why Movember is here for all of us to be reminded that, you know, it's okay to share with others how you're feeling. And that's what we're doing here. But yeah, you know, it's pretty frustrating. I'm not going to give in. We're just going to have to miss what we miss, stream what we can stream, mess streams, crack streams, whatever else is out there. If it really comes down to it. Luckily, the Hawks are on, Fox or CBS this week in the 2:30 slot. But brutal. And the last thing, I mentioned this previously on the intro too, and once again, hand up here for getting into bed with these scumbags over Chad Powers. But if ESPN wants to take away ESPN, go ahead, take it away. You should not be allowed to take away ABC. If it's a channel I grew up with, getting it for free on the bunny ears antennas, that should be off limits. I need 45, 46, asterisk, 47 to get involved and say, hey, you guys can, fuck around and beef about whatever, but ABC, CBS, and Fox, PBS, and the CW 23 for my hometown, but they have Super Bowl games too. Those 5 channels, those stay. You can't take those away, no matter what.
Yeah, public executions are at hand. This is like if Costco started charging more for like a hot dog. This is that level.
Over $1 for a.
This is threat level. This is threat level midnight.
It's the most politically radicalized I've ever been in my entire life.
Overthrow it all.
I am a single issue voter now, and it's keep football on the fucking TV.
Period. What? I thought this was to distract us in the first place, and now I can't even distract myself. Kill me now. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, unreal. It always gets to the 11th hour, and then typically it gets settled. So it was kind of like unreal. Felt like we were living in an alternate universe when that did not take place. But nonetheless, the football was still played. The football was still played out in the gridiron. And we had some good games, some interesting games. Do you guys want to get into the recap of those?
Hell yeah, dude.
All right, shit. Let's start with Vandy and Texas. Game I actually wasn't able to watch because of fucking ESPN. So I don't know why. Why, if that's the one where I'm picking to start with. Maybe it's just because
I watched this one.
It hurt me the most because I was counting my eggs or chickens before they hatch. With Texas 3.5 covering, and next thing I know, a game I'm unable to watch. 21-0 Vandy fourth quarter run and almost recovering an onside kick. And
They
holy
had
shit, Vandy with the back door of the year possibly. Chisholm, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm watching it at the bars in Austin. Obviously, the YouTube TV situation aforementioned. So watching it, trying to keep my composure as a Vanderbilt triple dipper better. That's a tongue twister for you. But I tell you what, Texas is a hard team to cheer for. Even when they do things right, they do things wrong, and it's just like in Vanderbilt, same way. They're an easy team to cheer for. Even when they're not doing a damn thing right, you still have hope and you still have that glimmer. And I'll be honest, I thought they had that onside kick. I watched it live. It was right there. I could not believe that nobody could come up with that football. Texas got bailed out big time. But also, did they just not care? It almost seemed like they just stopped trying, thinking the game was put away. And then it was at one point, a quick 12-yard out away from being in field goal range and going to OT. So I don't know. Vandy's a better team than people will give them credit for on their record. Texas, not that impressed. I think that I was very impressed by Arch in that offense in the first half, but close the game out, fellas.
Chisholm, give us a vibe check down in Austin. You came away with a win, but are you satisfied? And what kind of momentum do you have going into next weekend's matchup on the road in Athens?
I still think majority of the fan base is in a negative mindset. I think they're happier seeing Arch, but I mean, dude, Diego Pavia moved the ball at will in the last few drives of that game. 21 straight in the fourth quarter. That's not ideal with the rest of the stretch that UT has, especially because honestly, I think they go 2-3. Their last or 1-3. Their last or 1-2. Am I tripping?
They have A&M and they have
I think
Georgia.
that's a loss. I think they lose to Georgia. I think they beat Arkansas. I think they go 1-2 the next three.
If they go 2-1, college football might be torn apart at the seams again as they start to ask for a 3-loss SEC team to get in. Specifically, with the fact that, hey, they went on the road and one of their losses is Ohio State, which I get it. You schedule hard games. You shouldn't necessarily be as deducted for those, especially week one. But at the same time, depending on how this fares, I don't know. Going 1-2 against your fellow college football playoff competition isn't necessarily like a ringing endorsement. So we'll see what happens.
What if that one win is against A&M, who's top dog?
I mean, I think at Athens or against A&M, I think those wins are pretty treated equally in terms of my scale. The running back Jones scale.
If they lose both of those games and beat Arkansas, nobody's gonna care.
Right. They'll have a 4-loss season.
But that's what I'm saying. If A&M,
I don't think it matters who they beat. They just have to go 2-1. I don't think it matters if it's Georgia or A&M that they win or lose to necessarily. I think the discussion would still be the same. I mean, as Texas fans, I'm sure would prefer the win over A&M. I'd have to imagine.
But probably, yeah.
All right, well, we'll keep going. Diego did have a pretty good game stat line at the end of all this. I wouldn't say he's out of the Heisman, talk, but this is one he kind of needed to get, right?
Yeah.
And we'll do a little Heisman discussion later. Let's see. What other games do we want to talk about? I kind of want to talk a little bit about this Texas Tech game at Kansas State briefly. Texas Tech looks like the real deal. They waxed them. Won 45-20, I think, was the final score. I watched all this game. I was just taken aback by the athletes on the Texas Tech side of the ball. They really impressed me, just getting up and down the field. Not really able to let K-State do anything. K-State couldn't run in between the tackles. Did either of you guys catch this game at all?
Did not get much of this one. No, I unfortunately did not.
Dude, where the
all over that Tech bet though.
About this game too.
Texas Tech is looking good. I mean,
Interesting.
while you're just filibustering while you're pulling up your notes still, Texas Tech driver's seat looking there in the Big 12 damn near. I think they're second actually in conference rankings, but they hold the 9 seed in the AP poll, which I'm sure we'll be mentioning throughout the rest of the episode, along with the first iteration of the college football playoff rankings, which just came out not 30 minutes ago, which is awesome. We'll run through that, but they show face in there as well. So this team is looking phenomenal, minus a bluster that they had 3-4 weeks ago against Arizona State when their quarterback was injured. So for all intents and purposes, when everybody's healthy, this Texas Tech team is no joke.
Yeah, we got the BYU game later. This other stuff was Texas Tech. I'll save it maybe for the Texas Tech BYU conversation, but you guys can kick it over to one of the other games too.
Yeah, there's one that really had my blood boiling, I guess you could say, would be like a super extreme term for it, but also like you see the writing on the wall. But I just don't think that this behavior is acceptable in college football anymore. And I'm referring to the UGA going on the road in the swamp at Florida. UGA won 24-20. The spread was 7, 6.5, 7, 7.5, whatever you got it at. And Gunnar Stockton, man, you got to go into the end zone. This is a new day and age in the era of college football. Transfer portal, NIL, you actually have a fucking salary cap damn near. I mean, no cap, but you got a salary to manage. And 10, 15 years ago, I completely understand taking a knee at the 1 yard line with under 2 minutes left on the clock when there wasn't just a ton of money getting floated around college football. But if you want a new locker room, if you want to fly private, if you want a 5-star wideout, you got to cover that spread for your boosters who are putting money in your pockets and donating because you know they're throwing some action on their own. And Gunnar Stockton took a knee at the 1 yard line with like a minute and a half left in the game. They were letting him go in the end zone. They were up 4. Was it the right play? Yes, absolutely. But man, that hurt to see when you're watching it live and you laid 7 on Georgia. So that got me good last weekend. But I mean, I obviously understand where he's coming from here, right? Just unfortunate for every single Georgia bettor out there. That's all.
You would think they would know more at this point. All right, what other games do we want to talk about? Because fuck me, Texas Pete, go ahead. I don't know who the hell is doing behind the scenes work in the production meeting. Maybe it's Frankie Fuckface, but they got me all hot and bothered. Texas Pete, any other games? I mean, our sweet Haynes King threw for over 400 yards in an L. Cinderella clock struck midnight there. NC State got the job done. And you know, I don't think it's the end of our sweet King Haynes King, but it's not the beginning of the story anymore. Let's just say that.
It's exactly where you want to be if you're Haynes King, man. Where does he operate best? It's not undefeated. It's not in the driver's seat, man. It's clawing back from the middle of the pack to fight your way back up there. So they're gonna come hot.
He whose face is marred by blood and dust.
That dude, fuck yes. Who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again. That's who we're talking about. We're talking about the man in the arena. That is Haynes King.
Haynes King is the man in the arena.
Wow, that's actually crazy.
Yeah. Welcome to the Thunderdome.
Hey Siri, remind me in 1.5 hours to auto bet Georgia Tech spread. Thanks.
Woo!
Yeah, so in on that. Rest of the weekend, I mean,
Ohio State got the job done.
I was going to say Ohio State rolled Penn State.
Dude,
so that
how does Penn State? Yeah.
It's 5 straight L's, bro. 5 straight L's, and they're playing Indiana this weekend.
Yeah,
so,
burn it all down. Signetti will run that bitch up, too.
Looking brutal.
Okay. It was fucking Texas P. I'm in the version history looking at it right now. Okay. A couple other thoughts from this.
Sabotager.
Absolute saboteur.
He's definitely done it to me
at
in the past.
6:05, running back Jones puts in some additional notes. At 6:13, they're all gone. Texas Pete goes in and starts putting stuff.
There was nothing cleaned up on the. There's nothing cleaned up on the shared document.
I mean,
Those
I
were
had
last
this.
week's episode's
had-
notes.
I had
Nothing
no-
else was cleaned up. The title,
no,
the date, the
no.
recording date,
Well,
every single
this
piece of
part-
information.
I had this good one.
Previous
I had
week's
this.
episodes. How about you do a little bit of housekeeping before you point your finger at the maid?
I had
you know
this
what I'm
good
saying?
line in there. I
You
said
gotta
all
clean up
good.
before the cleaning ladies come. That's
Well, you know what? It doesn't take a smart man to recognize that there's gold on this page. Underneath,
Hey, come
NC
on,
State
fellas. Let's get weird.
NC State 48, Georgia Tech 36. All I have is all good Haynes must come to an end. I mean, that's just gold.
All good
Yo.
must come to an end.
Damn.
Couple
That was
other
written in the
thoughts.
stars, dude. That is beautiful.
Couple other thoughts on that Ohio State game, just really quick. I was watching Big Noon because couldn't flip back and forth between that and game day. They did a feature on Cornell Tate, who's from the Garfield Park, Chicago area. His mom tragically passed away in a drive-by. They had Rinaldi on the case, with his piercing blue eyes.
Yeah.
Diving into it, staring through the TV into my soul. And holy cow, Mrs. Jones was watching with me. She said, I'm rooting for this guy. And I said, hell yeah, so am I. And then he goes on to have another big game, over 100 yards and a touchdown. Seems like a great kid. And while I'm not an Ohio State guy, I'll be in Cornell Tate's corner the rest of the year. Go ahead and maybe, if you're in for pulling on some heartstrings and want to learn more about this guy and his upbringing and what drives him on the football field, I would go and check out that piece on Cornell Tate. Give me Gus Johnson saying out his name a couple more times this year. I'll be a happy guy. OU 33, Tennessee 27. Josh Heupel and squad shit the bed at home again. I'm starting to be more and more out on Heupel. I've never seen a Tennessee team play better in the second half than they played in the first half.
Phenomenal point, and just being out on this Tennessee team because they stole our beloved Hawkeyes ranking in the AP poll. That's rather fucking disappointing.
Yeah, they haven't beat anybody with a winning record this year. They're 6-3. They have 3 quality losses, but you can't start counting quality losses if you don't have a quality win.
Not this deep into the year. Yeah.
No. If you don't have a quality win, then the losses don't really matter. Like,
Week 3, different story.
You could say Iowa has a quality loss against Indiana in the sense that it makes me feel better about our chances against other good teams, but it's not a reason for us to be promoted or pushed higher because you lost the game at home. So, it is what it is.
Whether your quarterback's injured or not. No excuses.
Let's see. The last game I just really quickly wanted to touch on, Miami drops another one to SMU, which, I mean, the ACC is kind of as – everybody thought it was going to be top heavy this year. Maybe dog shit, but I think it's a little bit more – I don't know if deep's the right word, but the Louisville,
it's the
SMU,
Big 12 2.0.
Virginia. It is the Big 12 2.0 when everybody thought it was going to be dominated by Clemson.
Right.
This Miami team, and then maybe Florida State, especially early in the
North
year.
Carolina, people are like, oh, what is North Carolina going to do? And they're so bad.
Yeah.
But they did cash that money line. Another Chisholm.
Now it's just absolute utter chaos. So that's something
to
look out for.
Dude, it is bedlam right now.
And with those games now behind us, I think it's a good opportunity to talk about the college football playoff standings that just came out. Chisholm, do you want to take lead on those there with kind of the run of show?
Yeah, so obviously there's 12 teams that the committee is going to select. I think the first few are pretty – what's up?
I was just counting to 12, bro.
Oh, yeah, there's 12. First few are pretty standard. I think the first 4, I'll take the first 4 here. Ohio State being 1, Indiana at 2 back-to-back in the Big Ten, Texas A&M, and then Bama coming in at 3 and 4. So Big Ten, SEC. Who would like to take 5 through 8?
No shock here. You're going to follow that up, that SEC run with another double SEC teams here in UGA and Ole Miss at 5 and 6, followed by BYU and Texas Tech. So Big 12 represent.
Big 12 is represented.
Everybody said it's going to be a one big league. Y'all can suck a dick.
Okay.
Well, they play each other this weekend, so likely won't see one next week. But I feel like they're kind of juicing the BYU Texas Tech rankings a little bit right now, just knowing there's so much, in my opinion, additional little gamesmanship that goes along with how they rank these teams. Like knowing that BYU and Texas Tech play each other this week, they're like, we can just put them both in there. Like one of them won't be around next week, and one of them will have a quality win, and we'll just kind of keep them where they're at. Then we got Oregon at 9, Notre Dame at 10, Texas at 11, and Oklahoma at 12. I think both this Texas team and Oklahoma team is kind of like semi-booty cheeks, so it's kind of weird and gross. And what we have to become more accustomed to is that, you know what, the 11th and 12th best teams aren't going to be perfect. So like when you see them in there, it's like, hey, yeah, okay. But I was a little surprised to see both of them included, to be honest.
Not one ACC team.
Correct. So Virginia would be the current nod at the 11 seed, assuming they go out and win the ACC championship game.
Which,
although, if I could walk it back 2 steps, you know what I can kind of see the committee kind of doing here with those Big 12 teams, assuming Ole Miss and BYU, one of them will win out and win their conference championship. That'll put them in a top 4 seed, which is different from this year's CFP to last year's. Now that the top 4 seeds get the first round bye, not the top 4 highest rated conference champions. So they could still, I feel like they put those guys high because knowing if one of them wins out, and I know that's saying a lot, but still, they would definitely be in that top 4 spot. So it would like give the playoff committee and everybody who's complaining about how this is set up for the Big Ten and the SEC that, hey, look at them. There's a Big 12 team right here. They got a first round bye. You know what I'm saying? Like in the inaugural year of this. Something to watch out for. I don't know. Just
biggest surprise to me is not even one of the top 12 teams. It was Miami down at 18 with the same record as Notre Dame, including a win over said number 10 team in the country, Notre Dame. That was interesting to me. Sure, their losses maybe aren't as good, but one of Notre Dame's losses is to Miami. Make sense. That just broke my brain a little bit.
I mean, it's not that hard. Like, momentum means a lot, especially in football. Like, that was so long ago in the scheme of this. And, like, Notre Dame has all of the juice right now. And Miami has not – this is the least Miami's had all year coming off of that SMU overtime loss where Carson Beck looked terrible again. Like, it really just took the wind out of their sails. And I would agree with you in another world where that didn't just happen right before the rankings came out. And I think that's probably why there is a bit of an overreaction, but yeah.
Yes, but I mean, just playing devil's advocate,
shouldn't all games count?
The writing was on the wall back in.
But
we knew this was going to happen come late September when Notre Dame was still winless. They were 0-2. Granted, 2 tough teams, very close games. They've had 1 decent win since then. That'd be versus USC a couple of weeks ago. But like their entire strategy towards, I guess not their strategy, but just I guess the way the chips fell is people are going to lose ahead of them. They stayed in the rankings. They're going to slowly creep up 1-2 spots week after week. And that's fucking hilarious. Everything that's going on here.
Notre Dame is such bullshit. It makes me so upset. Why? Because you're going to put your 2 hardest games of the year in weeks 1 and week 2, and then you're going to backload the rest of your schedule with tough cake ACC teams. And then when it comes time to rate the games, it's like, well, that happened we lost those games in week 1, week 2. So really they shouldn't count as much as the games right now where we're currently beating up on a bunch of shit teams versus if those hard games actually came within the flow of the season where according to Chisholm, they would count more because there's more momentum at stake. It's like, hey, if we just lose our first 2 games of the week, then who gives a fuck come college football playoff time because we don't have to play anybody hard for the next 10 weeks.
That's what it's looking like. And we knew that. We knew that like 2 months ago or whenever this dropped.
You're saying this like I'm making the point when it's recency bias. It's a literal psychological phenomenon that you're mad at me about. And you're blaming Notre Dame on like insinuating that they built their – no, not to this extent. The schedules
look like
okay.
They can get hard games.
They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, but like they didn't make the schedule this year. Arkansas was supposed to be and granted, Arkansas still was a great win for them compared to how the Arkansas plays against everyone else in the SEC. But like still, like you guys are taking crazy pills.
Dude, this momentum is 25-10 win against a 1-7 going into it Boston College team. Like
on the road.
Awesome.
Stop
Yeah, no, they
it.
got a hard
Stop
finish. They got
it.
Navy, Pittsburgh, Syracuse, Stanford. That's just absolute dog.
Dude, don't give me an on the road win against a 1-7 Boston College.
That
team,
was
man.
funny. Come
Don't
on.
give that.
You laughed. You laughed. Don't get mad at me when you laughed. That was some of Chisholm's finest.
Dude, yeah, that's
Well, I'm just
good.
getting upset about
Yeah.
it now. It won't really matter later in the year. They're not going anywhere. They're going to be in the playoffs, but it is
We'll
still
keep
just
rolling.
it's goddamn.
They control their
bullshit.
destiny.
Can
All
we-
that says to me is that like they can't go much higher than that. It just says that this is the committee giving the nod and saying, Notre Dame, you control your destiny. If you win out, you're in, and we're going to give you that wisdom and knowledge and understanding now. That's all this says to me. This says nothing because we've already made the point. BYU and Tech are playing this week. A&M and Bama and like all these other schools still have tests left. Like this was made very, very particularly, in my opinion. And I think Notre Dame, this is damn near probably the highest they'll be able to get to, unless a few of these other teams up top take a tumble.
No, they're going to have to take a tumble eventually. I think they capped off at probably a 6 seed in the CFP, but that's just assuming nothing goes crazy wonky, with the rest of the season. It's too close to even start drawing the lines for that.
Yeah.
I think
you're right.
just taking a look at it right now, they could maybe get up to 6.
Let's real quickly. The 19 through 23 has 4 Big Ten teams. Am I counting that right? You got USC at 19, Iowa at 20, Michigan at 21, and Washington at 23. All of these teams are 2 losses. Shout out the Hawks at 20. It's a good-looking round number for this weekend's big game. Which of these 4 teams has the best chance of making the CFP playoff?
Not USC.
USC still has us as in Iowa and Oregon.
Yeah.
I think
Washington
Iowa
too.
It'd probably be
USC, Iowa beats Oregon. Iowa takes Oregon's spot. Iowa beats USC. Like if Iowa wins out, I think Iowa is the best chance.
One of them. What's Washington look like?
I think, it's interesting. Washington's basically hardest game is going to be Oregon again. Everybody has to be Oregon. If any of all these teams need the win against Oregon, so Oregon can kind of be the one that can shut the door. Michigan has absolutely nobody, but they're going to have to beat Ohio State for a 5th straight year.
Would Oregon keep the 12 or like the 11 spot in your mind if they only lose one of those games? Like, are they high up enough on all those other teams where like Iowa winning out doesn't put them ahead of Oregon still?
No, Iowa winning out would put them ahead of Oregon, I think, because they'd be a 2-win team. They'd have comparable wins and losses. Iowa would have one head-to-head and played better against Indiana. I mean, same thing with Washington, same thing with USC. I think all these teams could win out and have to go through Oregon in the process, right?
Right.
But if one of these teams, let's say, beats Oregon and Oregon wins out and these teams drop another one to go to 3 losses, I think Oregon would remain the preferred team in that situation.
Come on, fellas. Let's get weird.
Come on, fellas. All right, real quickly, Heisman standings. Little bit of movement. Still a quarterback-driven award right now. Julian Sayin, after a 4-touchdown, 300-yard performance, plus 180 now. Mendoza plus 220. Simpson plus 350. Marcel Reed plus 650. Sorry, and then after that, major fall off to Gunnar Stockton at plus 2,500. So basically a 4-horse race. Diego and Haynes are way down the list. I mean, typically you wouldn't wait for this to happen. Do they include championship games really within Heisman voting and like Heisman considerations?
Oh God, good question. I know the voting is, or I guess the ceremony is a week after, or like a week and a half after conference championship weekend. That's a good question though. But I feel like that's like the NBA MVP where it gets announced in the second round of the playoffs. But
maybe
obviously
this
you're
year,
still watching that first round games.
Maybe this year they can make an exception. If, it's Sayin and Mendoza and they're going to play each other in the Big Ten championship, like withhold voting and let's just watch this one. And whoever plays better can just have the award.
Just
they
have
would
the
tell you it
pregame
didn't have
like
an
stuff
impact.
like winner takes the Heisman.
Yeah, put the Heisman on the sideline, like over in the corner, behind the end zone.
Like,
and then
who wants it more, fellas?
The game, they get a run over there,
Yeah, and they got to grease up the Heisman, and it's like they get all muddied up, and they're pig slopping it up. We'll slop it up. We'll slop it up.
It's like
we're not doing anything. We're just showing funerals.
What?
And the clips
the-
are
it's
the
the
ones where the
NFL
bodies
Thanksgiving
fly
Day.
out.
I
NFL
waited a
Thanksgiving
long
Day
time
turkey.
for a hit on Corn Cob TV. The guys at Spectrum think I'm just some dumb hick. They said that to me at a dinner.
Well, it's going to be an awesome week. Let's start with BYU at Texas Tech. Texas Tech is 10-point favorites. The total is 52.5. Game day is going to Lubbock. I think it's the first time maybe back in Lubbock since that legendary Michael Crabtree game with Texas visiting number one. That was probably like the peak of college football and just general. The Big 12 was
It's up
rolling.
there.
All 5 conferences were there. I think that was 2007, right? Which was just the most insane season of all time.
2008.
Yeah.
2008. So
Was that against
Colt
against
McCoy's
Texas,
freshman
right?
year, right?
it is interesting that game day finally hits 2 Big 12 games in a row while ESPN is just like basically unviewable. They're like, well, we're doing it. Look at us. We're going to the Big 12 schools. Like, you guys can't say we're
Yeah, that is
SEC
fucked.
biased. Meanwhile, they're like, nobody can watch this shit.
Did the SEC
The Big
orchestrate
12.
this?
The Big
Probably.
12
They're
foil
trying to get the
hatters
monkey off their back.
Can't fucking
are in
stand
full
Hugh
swing
Freeze.
right now.
Hugh Freeze is like
gone.
the last man standing of all the coaches that I hate that haven't been fired yet.
Wait, Hugh
was
Hugh
fired
Freeze
this
got
week.
fired. We
Oh,
had him
yeah.
on the rundown in the production meeting to talk about too before we got to the
No
picks.
way.
I'll touch on.
That's
I'm
on me
touching
as a
on it.
host. Okay, that's on
Oh
me.
my god.
Oh no,
Are
it's
you
okay. You know what?
serious?
While he's in conversation, bunch of funny tweets coming out. Let me go ahead and pull them up real quick.
Dude,
but yeah, Hugh
I was
Freeze
so
fired a handful of
hungover
days
on
ago.
Sunday.
Oh, come on, my fucking thing's locking up on me.
It's okay.
Anyways, so similar. I mean, not similar to the apology letter that we issued to our listeners. We really sat down and thought that one out. Hugh Freeze went and put a graphic out there, under his account, and someone ran a check for the AI written portion of it, and it was 99.28% written by an AI GPT. So just knowing he just plugged that in and posted it on his accounts and whatnot. Obviously, this guy is incredibly sorry.
Now
Right?
watch this drive.
Not.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, that was pretty much all. And then if you
Wow.
just search Hugh Freeze apology, it brings you back to 2019 when he was in his big scandal.
So,
I
dude,
mean, the Red Bullet
I've
boys have
really
been
just
on.
mowed him down this year. I mowed him down. Wow.
Kelly, worst guy you'll ever meet. Awful human.
Right.
That's what some of his players recently got. Hugh Freeze, nailed him. Liberty, my ass, get nailed.
James Franklin.
James Franklin. I mean, we couldn't have been meaner to this guy. He's on the podcast.
We're
Billy
PJ
Napier.
Fleck. We're PJ
Billy
Fleck
Napier.
getting fired away from a perfect season.
I think we referred to Billy
Can I?
Napier as like a flaccid chode before. So like we
Yeah.
got him out of there. Anybody else that was just on the hit list? I mean,
Scott Frost a few years back. We can
yeah, count
for
that
old
one
time's
up.
Sake, just for old time's sake, throw his name out there. TP.
Oh no, I don't have any more on the hit list, but going back to Auburn, just a fun fact: their last 3 full-time head coaches have all coached at Arkansas State. That'd be Hugh Freeze, Gus Malzahn, and Brian Harsin. So
Who's coaching
if
there
that's
now? That guy is
We don't
probably
know.
fired up.
Yeah, Butch Jones is his name. So
No way,
maybe you're
Butch!
getting an interview.
Dude, Butch Jones
Yeah.
has been around the block,
Butch.
dude.
Yeah, good for Butch. Welcome. Welcome. To
Okay,
Tourism.
going back to game day. That's BYU at Texas Tech. Tech is 10-point home favorites. Over/unders at 52.5. Is anyone else shocked to see that this is a double-digit spread? I mean, BYU's 8-0, the number 8 team in the country. They're coming off a bye week. They beat Utah a couple of weeks ago. They beat Ames by 2 scores 2 weekends ago on the road. So, like, why is this 10 points? You know what I'm saying? I understand
Tech's
that Tech
favorite.
is absolutely, Tech is rolling
They're a
offensively.
wagon, dude.
They've only
Yeah.
put up less than 35 points in a game twice this year. So it's absolutely undeniable. But they've also played 5 weeks straight. So it's been 5 weeks without a bye for them. So guys might be a little bit more banged up. I don't know. I was doing some research. BYU started incredibly slow their last handful of games or so. That's definitely probably the biggest reason the spread is double digits. But the biggest thing that I took away from this, when you hear 2 Big 12 teams, and yes, BYU's in the Big 12, right? You just immediately smash the over button at 52.5. But sneakily, these two teams' defenses are in the top 20 in college football, which is pretty wild considering that Big 12 never plays fucking defense.
No.
So I think this is a don't get greedy or don't get suckered into the line. I think we're taking under 52.5 in this game. So just locking that play in for you guys.
Classic. As well. Don't mess with the Zohan play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. When I think about Texas Tech, I think about, double D's. Not in terms of titties, but Dickey and Douglas. Morton Salt's Red Raiders run through these guys offensively. Dickey's, the running back, and he's just absolutely dog. And Douglas is like your 6'5", lanky, kind of reminds me of D-Hop or Mike Evans type in the college football world, where he's just getting jump ball after jump ball. And creating separation. And I had to do some more research on Douglas because I was like, this guy is just absurd. And it turns out he's a Texas kid. He's from Missouri City, Texas.
Yes, sir.
What the hell were they thinking when you name it? They're not even near the Missouri River. So I had to go and do some further research to understand where, one of my new favorite receivers in college football is from.
Okay.
Missouri City, it started by R.M. Cash and L.E. Luckel. Just awesome name out of RM Cash. Pretty solid name out of Ellie Luckel. But, when you're standing next to RM Cash, it's kind of like standing next to Dirk Diggler, It's just not going to look as big.
Dig a dome.
Yeah. And, these guys are from Houston, and they bought some land outside of town. And what they did, they said, all right, now that we got the land, what we need to do? We got to get some people. So they went down to St. Louis and just started recruiting motherfuckers left and right. Told everybody it's endless sunshine. Guess what? We're even calling it Missouri City. It's just like home, but sunshine out the ass. And that's just how it started. Missouri City, they just bought some land. So we're starting the town here. Now we got to go get some bodies. What a weird time when that was just the case.
Yeah. Load them up, baby. Hey,
yeah.
What year was that? Remind us.
Oh man, this is like in the 1800s. Had to be Missouri City.
Okay, got it.
Missouri City, Texas.
So
was it pre-industrial revolution?
Newt Rockne wasn't alive yet.
No, 1956, dude.
Oh, he was alive.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
He actually might have been dead again. I don't know.
Can you believe that? Oh, okay. Well, it got registered in 1894. That's when they started bringing people in. It got incorporated in 1950. Became like,
Okay.
I don't know.
So the 1890s.
Whatever.
Do we think it was racist in nature?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think they just, I don't think so.
Sounds like some reverse Underground Railroad shit to me, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean it's predominantly black now.
Are you riding with
what it was back in the day?
Are you riding with two of your new favorite players in college football on Texas Tech?
I think they're just begging you to bet it, like saying, "Hey, dude, just watch this drive." Like Texas Tech, I'm not betting them. It's a Zohan. Stay away from me. A classic Zohan. Stay away from me.
Yeah.
But we do need to start to circle some games that we're all picking because we do have a few. Some might say them awards to give out later this year. Based on kind of how the three of us finish the season with our picks. This is going to give us a little bit more of an incentive to keep track of some of these plays. I think we do a pretty good job of giving them out. Not always as good of a job of checking them off the list after the fact.
You guys are welcome for the graphic last week, by the way.
You made a graphic, Chisholm?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I was like, where was I?
Still waiting on you.
The week one graphic should be coming out any day now, guys. Don't worry about it.
The reward is, it's one of two things. It's either a 6 foot tall Alvin the Chipmunk statue or a 4.5 foot tall Dobby the Elf. I don't know if that one's a statue or a figurine.
6 foot tall.
But both viable options are both on Marketplace in a neighborhood near mine. I don't think they're moving anytime soon. They're pretty expensive. And with that said, this being game day, Chisholm, it doesn't have to go on the card, but we all have to pick against the spread on this one. And I will take Texas Tech, not on the card, but for the Alvin, the Chipmunk, Dobie, the Elf, inaugural award season competition.
Okay. Good. Did you swipe up on Facebook Marketplace and send the "Hey, is this still available" message yet? Just want
Yeah,
to
no, the
confirm.
guy said if you ask if this is available, I will not respond, which I always think is like hilarious, like little. So I immediately pulled up and said, "Hey, is this available?" He read it immediately, like before I could even exit the app. He was just
You
excited to
should
get
swipe up.
hits on Alvin. Did
You
not
should-
respond though.
You should swipe up and just say, holy fucking fuck, that body of yours is absurd.
Little Adam Levine, you know.
Yeah. But no,
Oh, man.
my pick for I'm gonna also be on Texas Tech spread in this one. Tortillas up.
I'll take BYU plus 10 in that.
All right, man.
All right, Pete, you want to get that notated, please?
Yes, scribe.
What's that?
You little scribe. I can notate. I don't give a fuck. All right, Oregon at Iowa. Geez, take it away, Chisholm or Pete, while I scribe.
Dude, can I just say something here real quick, Chisholm? I didn't mean to cut you off, but
Go, baby!
my tenure as an Iowa fan has been rather short compared to your guys's. I really became a fan in 2016 when I started attending university there.
Same.
And I can say, okay, then it's the same exact time.
I think probably for
this is
Chisholm too.
Yeah.
Really, you guys are crazy, man. But you've been aware of them a lot longer than I have. Let's
There
just
we
say
go.
that.
Hell
That's for
yeah,
certain.
bro. Hell yeah, bro.
This is the most excited and invested I've been in an Iowa game in such a long time. I can't even pinpoint the last time, maybe I don't even know, man. But Iowa's been rolling. What is that, 4 straight or something like that. Offense has been clicking, been doing it in a variety of ways that typically isn't traditional Iowa wins where we muck it up and win 16-10 or 16-13. We've been putting up some fucking points, right?
Yeah.
Running all over the place still, which is fucking phenomenal.
Mhm.
Bernowski has the longest active touchdown streak in college football. I think he scored by himself on the ground every single game this season, which is fucking sick.
True.
And Oregon has been kind of stumbling a little bit. I know when you got Mr. Jones's guy, Dan Lanning, at the helm. This guy always got it fucking figured out. But they beat Wisconsin in an ugly game, 21-10. They lost, what was it, a couple of weeks back to, was it Indiana, right? 20-10. They didn't play Indiana as tight as we did.
30-20.
30-20. There we go. I think there's a real chance here. Iowa's 6.5-point home dogs. Over-unders of 41.5.
Yeah.
Kick it off over to Chisholm or Mr. Jones, whatever you guys got on this game. But I'm just absolutely so invested in this one and fired up.
Our offense has been humming for sure, but our defense has gotten better every single week. I think we could not be coming into this game at a better time at home. The faithful we're buzzing. Iowa City is going to be on fire this weekend. The fact that we get a touchdown to play with, this is one of my plays of the year, Hawks plus 6.5.
And just to mention, it's big noon kickoff as well, coming to Iowa City. On just
enjoy that pink locker room, Oregon.
They're double dipping. They're bringing the big noon or high noon, big noon kickoff, whatever the hell you want to call it, and then also giving it the 2:30 CBS slot. It's just going to be, as Chisholm said, on fire. We're going to give a quick weather report here. It's looking like it could be a rainy day. Not sure if that plays into Iowa's advantage or not.
Hawks.
I don't think it hurts, right? Especially when you're at
helps.
home. I hope the faithful
one-dimensional football.
I hope the faithful can stay warm out there and continue to support. If you are going to this game, maybe think of a friend, think of a neighbor, bring an extra poncho into the game. Just in case it's runny, look over to your right, you see somebody not fully prepared or equipped to handle, 45 and rainy. You can make their day, keep them in the stadium, keep them loud, keep them proud. Look out for your fellow Iowa fan. With that said, it's going to be an unreal game. Pete hit on it. Iowa's been not only winning, but just beating the piss out of teams. And this Oregon team, gosh, dude, I don't really know what to think. Ryan is still out there, their stud wide receiver. I don't really think they have the ability to take the top off of this Iowa defense. In the bad conditions against Wisconsin, they just played that game, as Pete mentioned too. That was, a rainy, nasty game. Maybe it'll prepare them for this in some ways, but yeah, Iowa money line, Iowa spread. The under, I wanted to bet it, but it opened at 43.5. The weather, I think, has been bringing it down to 41.5. I could see it being a 17-10 game, but you know what? Iowa's offense is averaging over 34, like around 33, 34 points a game. So that 41.5 isn't as appealing as it would have maybe been in years past, where even if Iowa gets dominated, like you could see the under still hitting just based off the offense itself not showing up. But yeah, game of the year, game of the decade. People are saying the 2015 Hawkeye team will be in attendance, getting honored, which will be fun.
Whoa. Did not know that. That is huge.
10-year anniversary. I mean, what a great team. Undefeated going into the Big Ten championship. Michigan State had like a 21-play drive. I was there in Lucas Oil. Backbreaking, didn't make it into the college football playoff that year when it was just 4 teams. But the local guys are really locked in on the narrative too. And just like this Iowa team is going to break the narrative that Brian Ferentz basically bestowed at our feet. Kind of like a cat coming home with like, a rat in its mouth and putting it at your feet. I don't want that shit. That was Brian Ferentz. But we can probably move on from the Hawks. I'm just rambling. I'm excited. A&M at Missouri. This Missouri team's been struggling since the quarterback went down. A&M is still wagon mode. What do you guys think about this one?
Dude, I'm all in on Elko. I'm all in on A&M. I think this is just a eye test. Trust A&M on the road in this one to cover 7.
Yeah, you've been on A&M for a long time. You've been a Marcel Reed supporter ever since he replaced Wiegman last year or whatever it was. You called it out. You've been on top of that, which is sick. But the SEC's true beacon of hope, A&M right now, undefeated, 8-0, third team in the AP poll, third team in the playoff bracket.
Correct.
Or the CFB, if I read that correctly. Yep.
Yep.
Coming off a bye week, get the guys healthy. Maybe you have to decide. As a fan, would you like, dude, if you guys are rolling, do you really want to take the bye week, which is kind of the same for Iowa as well?
Are you
but regardless, guys are going to get healthier. But a sneaky fun fact about these teams is that Mizzou actually has a higher rated defense than A&M does, which is pretty surprising given Mike Elko and the A&M brand and stuff like that.
And that's points all year.
In the high leverage spots too, like against Notre Dame, they let up 40. I know that was, a month and a half ago, but whatever. Yeah. With the Mizzou Tigers being top 13 in all categories, rush, pass, and points allowed. So unless Heisman hopeful, 4th favorite, Marcel Reed has anything to say about it. I crawled onto some A&M message boards earlier this evening. Good Bull Hunting was the name of it. And also discovered many members of the Aggie faithful are having BAS flare-ups.
Yeah,
you guys know what BAS is?
Never heard of
it. Battered Aggie syndrome. So when you believe that the Aggies can do nothing right and are destined to forever be an always ran bottom feeding team that never wins more than 5 games a year, withered and enervated state of one's psyche as a result of constant and sensational failures by the fighting Texas Aggie football team. And some examples they gave was like being up 21 points in the 4th quarter and then having that pit in your stomach feeling, knowing that you're going to let it up. So a lot of BAS talk going around the A&M message board. So is it too good to be true? Are we looking at a letdown spot here this weekend? Stay tuned to find out.
The psyche of a sports fan is just not a place. If I got super shrunk instead of super sized and crawled into your ear hole, went into your brain, I'm getting weird.
Scary place to be. Yeah. Come on, fellas. Let's get weird.
I would not want to be in the psyche of a sports fan. They're all delusional and insane.
Yeah. So initially when I was on those message boards, they kept referring to hope and BAS, and they capitalized the H in hope, mind you. So I was like, oh, these are like someone who has something to do with
Lutherans?
their program. I didn't know. I thought it was like a person. You know what I mean? And I thought BAS
like
was
Bob
the initials
Hope?
for like maybe like an AD or like director of football operations
or a
type
band.
of role or something like that. But no, after further digging, they were talking about just having hope, and then I guess comparing that to their BAS flare-ups, battered Aggie syndrome.
Hope can kill a man. And
I'm on A&M -7 for this one.
Sam, quit copying my picks.
If my Missouri under on the season is going to hit, We need this one. Need this one bad. LSU at Bama. Bama's 10-point favorites, 49.5. It'll be interesting to see what this LSU team looks like coming off their coach leaving. It's something we need to do a better job of tracking on this podcast. What does the first game after a firing look like? For some teams like UCLA, it can be a big, rousing win. For other teams like Penn State, the slide can continue. But you never know. It could be, Brian Kelly, if he's as bad as we've all heard he is, and as little bit of a, I don't think he's ever been a motivator, right? Like he's always been more of a disciplinary and kind of keeping people in line that way. Maybe this team just kind of feels like they're free from the shackles that is BK. They're back in the lounge, but not the
They're
BK
actually
one.
able to have it their way now. They got rid of BK, and now they get to have it their way. I'm on LSU. I'm going to be on Bama and the over in this one.
Is there something to be said that kind of how
me.
Mr. Jones was just mentioning about being a leader and a motivator versus a disciplinary, how that coaching style and coaching method maybe works at smaller schools as opposed to the premier programs who have all the resources and have the talent on the roster in order to be able to compete day in and day out, where you don't need to impose your will on them, the players being the players there. Is there something to be said there? Because didn't obviously work out too well at Notre Dame, a great college football program, and then same thing at LSU, great college football program traditionally, but obviously excelled a ton at Cincinnati, and where did he play? Central Michigan as well, or wherever he was.
Yeah, Notre Dame was good, not great. I mean, coming off of the Charlie Weiss years and a few other guys, it was. I think most Notre Dame fans would have signed up for the Brian Kelly experience on paper for sure.
He underperformed
not all
Notre Dame.
You didn't perform at Notre Dame? You guys didn't go to a national championship game? Oh, okay. Well, I like the question, Pete.
That was
I think you could be
Weiss team too. Come on.
I think what do you mean was a Charlie Weiss team?
Built.
Oh, okay. Sure. Whatever you say. You could be one or the other, right? I think that works, but the best are both. I mean, Saban, I would say, is somebody that's probably both. Kirby Smart. Would you say Kirby Smart's a disciplinarian? I mean, he's on guys' ass, but I think he's more of a motivator. I mean, look at all the racing troubles and stuff down there at Georgia. I wouldn't say he's necessarily a disciplinary. So I think you can be one or the other. The best are probably both. The disciplinaries, though, it feels like it goes both ways too, right? Like maybe I'll use an analogy for the NFL Dolphins. Mike McDaniels, he's not a disciplinary. Like once it falls apart, it falls apart. And if you are a disciplinary, literally the head coach before him, he's the DC for the Vikings now.
Your snapping's not helping. It's
starts with an F, right? What are we doing here?
Brian
Flores. He was a disciplinary, and it got to the point though where you're losing and you're also up guys' assholes, not in their ears, getting weird, where people are over that too, and they just don't really want to play for you, and they just kind of think you're a dick.
And it's like, come on, fellas, let's get ready.
So it's one or the other. But when it goes too far, it goes too far. It can slip and slide.
And when it's going good, it's going great. I'm Superman with the wind at his back. She's Lois Lane.
Eminem.
Let's
Who do you
go.
got? You got Bama? I got Bama too.
Yep, I am also on Bama minus 10 here. Just going to keep on riding that slip and slide we were mentioning.
Slip and slide.
Until we get proven otherwise.
That's one of my favorite
copying your picks.
Songs. No.
Who's got feedback coming through the mic right now?
That's run it back.
No way.
Yes way.
Also, for whatever it's worth, I know we don't need to cover this game in detail, but I do have an auto bet that's on, and that is going to be Indiana spread. Hit last week. They are on the road in Happy Valley this weekend, 14.5-point away favorites. I'm going to do it again, though. Until it loses.
Do we have a Texas?
There's also
Texas play of the week.
Not this week.
This is also an auto bet game for me. Boston College 1-8, but they will be playing in their red bandana game this week, this Saturday, the 8th against SMU.
It is.
And it's perfect timing because SMU just upset Miami this last week. So that means they're going to be riding a little bit too high, a little bit of the Lazarus special, a little flying too close to the sun. And this is one that they're going to get for Wells Crowther. Red Bandana Day and Military Appreciation Day. So we're going to be all over Boston College spread, whatever that is at time of kickoff, because we're, like Wells, going to spring to action when the time comes for the Call of Duty.
Dude, fellas,
What?
I think we might have to go rogue. The Alvin the Chipmunks, he's not up for sale anymore on Facebook Marketplace.
God damn it.
We might have to track this
He's
guy
just trying
down
to
on
get
our
your
own
attention.
time.
He's
Dobie's
just trying to
still
get your
there, though.
attention. Don't worry about it.
That's a Dobby.
Yeah, that's the Dobby.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you were pro Dobby versus Alvin, I mean, he's still available. Look at that thing. You don't think that's gonna just be chill?
If you had a cat, that cat would fucking hate that thing.
That's not chill to just have this guy hanging out.
Nah, your phone's going dark. I hate Dobby. I fucking hate that shit. That's
Look at
Hey,
this guy,
disgusting.
dude.
whoa.
I don't want to look at that. That's disgusting.
That's homemade, dude. That's
You see what it is?
craftsmanship.
That's like if I was a dealer, I would imagine just every
That's
buyer's
craftsmanship.
kid that they had standing there waiting for their dad to finish buying their shit would look like that. Be like, get out of here, Dobby, you little gremlin.
That one's only
What
200.
else do we got?
That's all the
Um,
games I wanted to cover.
I don't know. Chisholm, you said you had something you wanted to get off your chest.
That was it. Let's talk about for Wells Crowther.
What?
Wells Crowther.
Oh, Indiana at
Red
Penn
Bandana
State
game.
this week. I'm out on Indiana plus minus 14 too. By the way,
I don't want to even
I'm
talk
just-
about
that's-
this
Auto
game.
bet.
that's auto bet too. Oh, Indiana spread's been auto bet for a month. It's about my only thing keeping me alive. So, well, there you have it, folks. Thanks for tuning in once again. We do this for you.
Yeah.
And going forward, we will continue to reevaluate and think about who we will sponsorship with. We do know that a sponsorship is a representation of ourselves and one we do not take lightly. With that said, one sponsor we will never give up, no matter how terrible things might look or what they might say or do. Vienna Beef.
Yep.
Because as much as representation is who you align with, loyalty speaks just as loud. And being our first sponsor, Vienna Beef, will always give them love. And then less of a sponsorship, but more of a partnership is Movember. Chisholm will come out with a few bit more information on how you can get involved. It starts with growing a mustache, being cool, and telling your friends you love them. That's just all important things. So thanks again for listening. We're going to get back to it next week. Peace.
Put a bow on this shit for us, Chisholm.
All right, man. Yeah, like Mr. Jones said, it's the mustaches and the conversations that matter the most. That's how we change lives here. So call up your homies, tell them you love them, grow your
copying my
mustaches. Chill out, man. And then before you hang up that phone, go ahead and call your bookie and let them know that we say hi. Cheers, y'all.
Are we coming hard?